Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Here we are. We're in December and we're talking about Sacramento real estate. Hey everybody, Doug Reynolds here, your Sacramento area realtor. This is a monthly market update I do talking about Sacramento real estate. We're in December 2025 right now. We are going to talk about the stats for November and kind of what's going on with the market to finish out the year here and kind of what we're feeling going into 2026 as well. So let's pull up the stats. We'll talk about those, then we'll jump into the market. All right. These are the statistics for November 2025 for Sacramento County. The median price, we're at $533,750. That's down a bit from October, down a bit from a year ago. If you've been following me, you know for basically the last 3 to 4 years now, the median's bounced up, it's bounced down, it's bounced up, it's bounced down. It's really kind of continued to hover between 525 to 560. And so prices just really haven't changed a whole lot over the last 3 to 4 years. So just down a little bit. It'll probably tick up a little bit in the next few months, but nothing substantial there when it comes to the median over the last couple of years. Highest price, almost 2.4 million in the county. Lowest price, 150. Always fun to see that massive gap between the lowest and the highest there. Okay, now when you take the original price that all the homes that were listed at, and then you look at what they sold for, they're selling for about 97.2% of their original list price. And so granted, some are selling over list price, some are selling for less, but on average, about 2.8% less than what they were originally listed for. Okay, now this is to be expected this time of year. Sales and listings start to taper off. Only 790 homes sold in the month of November. That's down 15% from a month ago and down about 4% from a year ago. Average days on the market is taking about 40 days on average right now to get sold. And a little bit less than half of the properties that are selling are having multiple offers. 45% of them have multiple offers. Active, we'll continue to see this drop for the next month or so, down to 1,744 active listings. That's down 17% from October. Not a big surprise. Once we hit October, November, December, the active listings really start to drop off. And then in January, we'll start to see them slowly rebound and come back. January, February, March, they'll be increasing. But the big thing is we're at about 20% more actives right now than we were a year ago. And so that's equating to about 2.2 months worth of supply. And then the pending sales, 849 pendings right now. That's down from October. That's to be expected. But it is down about 10% from a year ago. So what are we seeing in the market right now? Well, we're seeing sellers at the beginning of 2025. Sellers really started to thaw out. They really started to come back to the market. We really started to see more listings. We had 3 years of really reduced listings available, 2 to 3 years of very little inventory. And 2025 started out as a lot of sellers coming back to the market. But then we hit the summer, a little bit of economic uncertainty, a little bit of softening of pricing, a little bit of buyer pullback, and we really started to see the seller activity start to kind of taper. As you can see there, we've got less listings available right now than at the last few months as well. So seller activity is kind of pulled back. I think a lot of sellers are just kind of hitting pause and are probably going to reevaluate and most likely relist in the end of winter, beginning of spring. But as of right now, sellers are kind of just hitting that timeout button a little bit. But buyer activity has definitely started to stimulate. We're actually seeing more buyers right now in between Thanksgiving and Christmas than you would be expecting. About 3 or 4 months ago in the summer and fall, we had a very quiet time, not a lot of buyer activity. Starting to actually see stimulation in the buyer activity now. Obviously, rates have started to trickle down a little bit. News as far as the Fed doing their thing, I think is having some buyers kind of stimulate themselves back into the market as well too. So I think as we move into 2026, I've listened to a lot of experts, looked at a lot of data, all kinds of stuff. I think 2026 is going to start to return to more of a normal cycle of a real estate year. Going to look a lot like 2019 for 2026. We should have more homes selling. We should have more buyer activity. We should have a little bit more listings than we do at this time right now and during the years of 23, 24, and 25. I think we're going to continue to increase volume, more sales happening, and get back to a little bit of a traditional cycle where, you know, January and February, kind of the buyers come out. There's not a lot available. They start kind of fighting with each other. Then March, a little bit more listings are coming on. That buyer activity is still competitive and everything. April, more sellers are starting to list that house. And then we really hit our stride in that April, May kind of spring selling season. Then we usually have a little bit of a lull, and then a little bit more of a into summer kind of uptick, and then a little lull, and then one more kind of swing there. So I think 2026 is going to be a lot more like 2019. I think we're putting the COVID craziness behind us and getting to a more traditional market here in 2026 in Sacramento. So if you're looking to either buy something or sell something in the year 2026, I would love to help you out. You can connect with me. My website's realestatewithdoug.com. All my contact information below. Feel free to leave a comment if you got any questions or thoughts or ideas on the market. I look forward to talking to you soon, and clear skies.